Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Stephen Stokes and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited today. It's a Saturday here in Cape Coral, Florida, and we have an announcement, right? Standard Process has a brand new product it's introducing. It's called NeuroRegenics. I'm so excited about this. I'm excited about it because of two main reasons. First, it combines some of my favorite herbs in one pill. So we have Boswellia, Turmeric, Gotu Kola. Gotu Kola is the #1 herb that I use for everything. And something called Bupleurum. And these are essential herbs that are going to control the pathways of pain and inflammation, repair and regeneration, aging, right? Stress and detoxification. All in one pill. It's everything you need. If you're thinking about taking just one thing to make a dramatic change in your health, NeuroRegenics is definitely the answer. And I'll just show it to you here. I just got it. And they are these beautiful yellow pills. And that's, of course, because of the turmeric that's found in them. But there's always been a big problem with turmeric and with Boswellia, to be honest with you, and that is it doesn't get absorbed very good in the human body. Standard Process has solved that problem by including Fenugreek in the product. Fenugreek is a plant, and what it does is it creates this gel-like material around the herbs, and it causes them to stick to the lining of the GI tract. While they're sticking there, hanging out, it gives the body time to absorb those herbs like Boswellia and turmeric into the bloodstream. And that's how they handle the absorption problem. And by the way, absorption of turmeric and Boswellia, everybody's got that problem. And some people say you can get past it by taking it with fats, right? Because the fats will slow down the process and allow for more time. Some people say you can mix it with black pepper. These things are all not great. They don't do a great job. It's always been a problem. And in the past, when I've used Boswellia and turmeric, I've always had to take it with fats, and I've always tried to figure out ways to make it better so I could get more of this material, more of the constituents into my blood. Well, Fenugreek does that. And it's a great product to add to NeuroRegenics to take care of that issue. Now, why take this? What is so special about these combination of herbs? And that's what I want to get into briefly here to get you excited about getting NeuroRegenics. First and foremost, let's talk about Boswellia and turmeric. If you've been a member of this channel for a long time, you know I go on about Boswellia an awful lot. It's one of my favorite herbs, and so is turmeric actually. The key with them, Boswellia and turmeric, is that they handle pain and inflammation pathways. So specifically the Boswellia through the LOX5, the LOX5 pathway, it inhibits leukotrienes. And leukotrienes are responsible for cellular inflammation. So anybody suffering from any kind of chronic disease is going to have an issue with that. And the Boswellia helps to calm that down and suppress that pathway through that LOX5 pathway. The turmeric works primarily with prostaglandins and inhibiting prostaglandins. And this is done through the COX-2 pathway. And a lot of us know about COX-2 because we've heard of COX-2 inhibitors. They were a medication that became very popular a few years ago. People were taking COX-2 inhibitors to help them with back pain and arthritic pain and things like this. Of course, these drugs have side effects. We don't see those side effects when we take the natural plant form. So when we take turmeric and we take Boswellia, we can activate those LOX5 and COX-2 pathways to reduce pain and inflammation without suffering the side effects that we're going to suffer, for example, with a COX-2 inhibitor. Also, the NRF2 pathway in these two herbs, this gets upregulated. And what NRF2 is, it's a pathway that helps to upregulate the production of antioxidants in the body. So we get valuable antioxidants like glutathione, right? One of the main, most powerful antioxidants that we make in the body. With these herbs, we can upregulate that. We produce more antioxidants, and it helps us be healthier and clean up free radical damage in the body. I mean, that's essential for any type of aging or disease process that we're going through. Now, the other thing that Boswellia and turmeric do is they regulate the mTOR pathway. and a few other growth pathways as well. But I just want to focus on mTOR because it's something that most people know about. mTOR pathway is the pathway for growth in the body. And it's something that you absolutely need to have activated if you're trying to regenerate and heal injury. But you don't want it to get out of control. If it gets out of control, if mTOR goes crazy, you can start getting negative growth, things like cancer. And Boswellia and turmeric work together to regulate mTOR, which is fantastic, right? So we get the benefits of regeneration and repair without the threat of cancer or unregulated cellular division. And that's why these two herbs, Boswellia and turmeric, are also known as anti-cancer or cancer prevention herbs. So who wouldn't want to have that as part of their makeup, right? As a side note, turmeric specifically is also a heavy metal chelator. So heavy metals are now found in the water we drink and almost everything we eat. And so by regularly taking this herb, turmeric, we can help to decrease the amount of heavy metals, things like mercury, for example, arsenic, these things that are found in the fat cells of our body. What a great preventative herb to take. Finally, when we talk about turmeric and Boswellia, we're really excited to discuss something known as the matrix metalloproteinase element. And this is called an MMP. And what MMPs are responsible for is really degeneration of tissue. So if you're suffering from something like arthritic degenerative disease or degenerative disc disease, this is usually because these MMPs are being unregulated. Your body's going into an area that was possibly injured, and in the process of trying to heal that area and remold the tissue, it uses these MMPs to do that. And that's good, right? It's good short term. But if this is unregulated, and that can happen for a lot of reasons, if it gets unregulated, if it gets out of control, the process becomes chronic. And these MMPs basically get out of control and they start to continue to break down and deteriorate tissues of the body that don't need to be broken down anymore. And this is where we see a chronic degenerative condition like osteoarthritis. And turmeric and Boswellia help to curtail the MMP pathway. So it seems something that you would definitely want to intake and be a part of, especially if you're aging or if you're suffering from any kind of chronic disease. Next, I want to talk about Gotu Kola. And Gotu Kola is really the repair and regeneration herb of all time. I've recommended it in almost every video. One of the things it does is it activates fibroblasts that enhance the synthesis of type 1 and type 2 collagen in the body, right? That's a mic drop because we need this collagen for rebuilding, healing, repairing tissues in our body. And so Gotu Kola plays an active role in that. It also modulates angiogenesis. And angiogenesis is the ability for your body to grow new branches of blood vessels off of existing blood vessels. If we're trying to heal something like cartilage in the knee or a spinal disc, this stuff, right, it's pretty much avascular. It doesn't get a very good supply of blood to the area. Angiogenesis in those areas is very important, and Gotu Kola can help to promote new blood pathways into those tissues that rarely get it. It also does this by promoting the release of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, as we know, dilutes blood vessels and enhances circulation of blood in those tissues. And we need to have the blood because the blood has the oxygen and all the constituents that we need, the nutrition, to heal the tissue. So it's really a win-win to repair the injury. Finally, something that is not talked about a lot when it comes to Gotu Kola is that it upregulates something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. And BDNF is essentially a protein that supports the survival and the growth of neurons in your body. And neurons are very important, right? A neuron is essentially the key factor to everything in your nervous system working. And this BDNF is essential for the health and the longevity of these neurons. So important, right? So important for aging properly, and so important to have your nervous system working correctly because the nervous system controls everything else. Finally, NeuroRegenics has a fourth herb, and something that not a lot of people know about. I certainly didn't know much about this. It's called Bupleurum. And what is Bupleurum? Well, I had to do some research myself. I wasn't familiar with Bupleurum. What I found was that it really has to do with the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. And this is an essential part of the human body that regulates cortisol and stress response. We know now that stress is a common factor in almost every disease. It's a factor in how we age, how we feel. Bupleurum is going to modulate that axis, keep it in balance, and help us handle stress better than we do now. From that, we're going to get all these secondary benefits. Amazing. It also reduces viral replication in the body. So if you have a virus in your system, Bupleurum will curtail that virus from replicating and spreading, which is pretty impressive. It works on liver detoxification through the cytochrome P450 pathway, right? And so liver detoxification is a big part of being healthy, especially as we age, because the liver is essentially like a big furnace filter in our body. It helps us with the production of cholesterol. It helps us with filtering out impurities and all those nasty things that we take into our system. So we want to have a healthy liver, and Bupleurum helps with that. And finally, kind of in line with that, Bupleurum also will stimulate the release of bile in your body. Bile is heavily used in the detoxification pathways, so useful. And if that's not enough, there's another pathway called the AMPK pathway, which has to do with lipid metabolism and how our body utilizes energy. Bupleurum does that as well. So you can get all of these great herbs under one hood with NeuroRegenics. You can take up to 2 of these 3 times a day if needed. I take 2 a day as a maintenance dose. It's phenomenal. You get the Turmeric, the Boswellia, the Gotu, Kola, and the Bupleurum with the Fenugreek delivery system to make sure that it gets into the system so you can use it. You will feel a change with this product in a couple of days. You'll literally feel healthier. That's how good it is. I'm going to put information in the show notes as well as a link so you can purchase it directly from Standard Process if you're interested in doing that. And please also check out my YouTube channel, lots of videos on this channel, and my website where you can download free copies of my book, ask me questions. It's all there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.